Comrade Show with Comrade Lante Oriake. This is the Comrade Show.
Yes. A big welcome to you all this very sunny afternoon here. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to today's edition of your favorite program, The Comrade and Friends, a segment of the Comrade Show that our brother, the Comrade Pharmacist, have nicknamed the Sunday Tonic. Please, you know the drill. Share this video both on our YouTube, Facebook, and all our social media handles so that all our Timmy fans across the world will join us. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching us today. So we've got, a lot lined up today, but I want to assure you that you are in for a fantastic time as we analyze the road to 2023 matters arising in the Nigerian political temperature and sphere. I'm not alone in the house. I've got with me my brother and colleague, Comrade Pharmacist himself. Comrade, greet our people.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. It's always a pleasure, like I say, every time on this platform to be in your presence and in your company. Thank you so much for what you do for the Comrade Show and what you do for Nigerians. Our viewers, our people, I welcome you very well this 17th day of July, the year of our Lord 2022. It is your darling program. You know what we do. Just share our program. At some point, we're going to open the lines for contributions. Please do well to ring in. All we do is just to discuss and help deepen our polity and policies and governance in Nigeria. As I would always say, I welcome una cacabolically.
Thank you so much, Comrade Pharmacist Austin Agboje Iremira. Viewers, let me just quickly inform us that due to unforeseen circumstances and for community reason, our brother RCNC, the comrade himself, Comrade Lamte Kponsa Oriaki, is not in the studio today. In fact, he's right now involved in some national assignment right there in the northeast of England as a community leader and as a community mobilizer and facilitator. But he's right here with us in the spirit. So I'm sure he will be very, very much happy that we can stand in the fort and carry on. So, like I said at the beginning, please share this broadcast. Share the broadcast because we are sailing off now immediately. We have a couple of issues we want to look at today. We are going to be examining the continuous voters registration exercise that have just been extended. We are going to look at some of the in-win-win zins, involved in this matter. We're also going to be looking at the recently just concluded Osun State gubernatorial election, otherwise known as the governorship election, where our dancing Senator Ademola Nuruddin Adeleke is dancing away right there in Osogbo as we speak. We're going to look at that election, and then we're going to look at the back in the big time of our darling team, the Bendel Insurance Football Club of Benin, who this week, despite having 3 more matches to play, Insurance of Benin, the Brazil of Bendel, like we used to know them, the Benin Arsenal, they are back in the big time, haven't secured promotion after many years in the doldrums. Bendel Insurance Football Club is back in the big time, and they've been promoted during the week to the Nigerian Professional Football League, NPFL. So we're going to be talking about that. And then we're also going to be looking at something that is really trending with regards to the video of the Minister of Interior, Chief Aregbesola, that has been trending all the way from the US. We're going to be looking at the worst if and what not of that particular issue. But just before we go into all that, I just want to again encourage us, please, our fans, you can send us stars on this program, support the Comrade Show. Costs a lot of money to do all this, you know, subscription and all of that thing. Support us like you've always done. We thank all our supporters who have been supporting us. All right, pharmacist Comrade Austin Remira, the voters registration. INEC have said July 31st is the final. What is your take on this exercise after the court brouhaha and the court pronounced that INEC can do what they want to do? It cannot be forever. So what is your take on this voters registration that is ongoing, my brother?
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons, for anchoring today's program and for setting the tone. I think you've done noble. You've been behind the studio for the last few hours. We need to commend you for that. On the issue of INEC and voters registration, I pray that that day will come where this will not be discussed anymore. Because indeed, Dr. Tony Agbons, registration and PVC collection should be ongoing, irrespective of whatever elections. But having said that, we know why we are here. We are here now, so we have to move forward. A bit of commendation to INEC for extending the PVC registration again to the end of July. I don't know if it will be extended further. But what I will say to Nigerians is that we need to take the opportunity of that window created yet again to register. The elections of 2023 is very important. It's going to mark a turning. It's going to be a yardstick and a big stick that will determine what will happen going forward. So the overwhelming interest of many Nigerians in getting registered and seeking to collect their PVC is encouraging. Maybe INEC will say that is what has caused the problem because before now, the turnout has been low. But I think INEC should get prepared and let this process of always postponing or giving extension for PVC be a thing of the past. Overall, I'm impressed. I thank INEC for what they've done. And I want to beg on the people to catch up on this extension to get registered so that they'll be ready to cast their vote come February 2023 when Nigerians will go to the polls in their drive.
February 2023 when Nigerians will go to the poll to make their decision. Please, viewers, our phone lines are opened on any of the issue we are discussing today. You can call in. Please call direct because when you call on WhatsApp, direct calls will just be shutting it off. So please feel free to make your contribution. So pharmacists, you have said you are very impressed. At least we still got a window of about 2 more weeks for people to register. And of course, you know that there have been a surge in the way people have been registering especially since May, the ending of May 2022. There have been a surge. People have been registering. In fact, I was reading a report yesterday, and the INEC National Electoral Commissioner, Mr. Okoye, was saying that INEC so far they are looking at about 95 million on the register already. 95 million. So, my brother, what do you think is going to be the implication of these huge numbers of Nigerians, especially the youth, registering this time around?
Simple. INEC should get their acts together because they are going to be ready for work and more work. Like it's always said, to whom much is given, much is desired. The template and the registration process and the new people, new entrants coming into the political scene with the upsurge of Labour Party and the Obi-led movement, everything has generated loads of interest. I must also say, with the hard work of APC and PDP, because we mustn't take them out of the equation, they are also working. So what all this is saying to INEC is that INEC needs to get their acts together because counting votes is going to be different. So technology must work. And I think everything now, we are in the hands of INEC, to be frank. The people will do their part, But INEC has over 70% of things to do now. Because the numbers have increased, like you said, it is likely that a large chunk of this increase in PVCs will come on that day to vote. Or like before, when we just have maybe oscillating between 30 and 40 million people coming out to vote. Now, I think it might be close to 100 million. So if we do that mathematics, it means that it's going to be about twice the normal voting numbers. So INEC need to be up and doing. I pray that when these elections come, we will not hear any stories that there is some malfunction of IT system and everything. And we, the people too, need to help INEC. We have to be law-abiding. We need to go to the polls, vote, and do the right thing. I know we're going to talk about the recently concluded Osun elections and the heroism emanating from that. Both buying and selling also affect INEC in some way or the other, whether you like it or not. And I want to appeal to all our INEC staff. Let us put country first before pocket. Because most of the stuff we get is that a large number of INEC employees somehow do compromise. So overall, I think this is throwing a very big weight on INEC. I think they've already got the budget, so the money is at their disposal. We are just waiting for them to deliver.
Thank you very much, pharmacist Comrade Iremira. You have said something very, very instructive. The huge numbers of registration throws up a lot of challenges. And like you said, the Osun election that was done yesterday is a very good barometer for us to measure how INEC will be able to cope with, voters coming out en masse, to exercise their civic rights. And I must say something, although we are not discussing the Osun election yet. There was a huge voter turnout yesterday. But, although not to the degree of what happened in Ekiti last month, when Ekiti State had their governorship election, there's still also this allegation of vote buying. Comrade Iremira, before now, we used to have a lot of ballot box being snatched, people snatching ballot boxes. But this problem of vote buying, it seems that politicians are now devising a new means to snatch ballots through the back door. What is your take on this vote buying allegation? Because if this is not stopped, we are looking at the general elections in 2023. My brother, there are some challenges ahead. What is your take, my brother? Please take the mic.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. Like he's always said that the hunter is learning to shoot without missing. The bird is learning to fly as well without perching. I don't know how they put it. That's how our Nigerian politicians have become. Every strategy that is put in every election, by the next time, they adopt a new mechanism of controlling the system. Remember before, it used to be people snatching ballot boxes. Ballot box snatching is now almost a thing of the past. And I think it was last year or last 2 years that this vote buying became so glaring and they've perfected it. To be frank, my brother, the hands of INEC is tied. INEC has got so much that they are doing at the moment. So there isn't so much, in my view, that I think that INEC can do to control this. But what I think INEC can do is to lead, if the government can create a proper agency. Once these people are kidnapped or caught, they are prosecuted immediately. Because, Dr. Tony Agbons, Nigerians are somewhat law-abiding. They are only law-abiding when they get a deterrent. We've heard about this for a very long time, that people have been arrested, but they've not been prosecuted. If they have, it's not been made known to the public. So I would think that the government, in conjunction with INEC, should make that aspect to be a bit very fast-track it, so that people that are caught, involved in this vote buying and selling, once they are dealt with, there are examples of people going to prison or being asked to pay certain fine. Although it will not totally reduce it, Dr. Tony Agbons, but it will bring it to at least a controllable minimum. But the issue where these people are caught, and in the usual Nigerian style, there is the rich and the big man connection, and these guys are left off the hook, it becomes really serious. I think I was listening to one of the channels this week saying that when you cast your vote, you are not allowed to bend the ballot. I think it's like INEC is trying to introduce that, because the system is told you, when you vote, you have to show the payer who you have voted for so that you can collect your money. They've also stopped people going into the polling booth with their phone, because before they used to snap it and send it out. So again, I think on the long term, voters' education, voters' awareness, enlightenment is very important. That will lead us to somewhere in a longer time. Maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, more people get educated, they become more aware, they will begin to see that this is not good and assault disease from it. But in the shorter term, looking at the election coming up in 2023, because we don't have anyone anymore, the last election before 2023 is just the Osun concluded one. We don't know how far they've gone. We don't know the stories. We are still getting feelers of what happened yesterday, even though victory has been declared for one party. I believe in the course in days to come, it will be clearer. But if we can get those culprits that are involved in this Osun and even the one that was concluded before, and they are dealt with, and they are shown to the public, that, in my view, we have to reduce this process. And politicians too should be warned. It is sweet, and you savor your victory when you work for it without buying it. And what will it take if you buy your victory? It means the victory will not really be sweet. So politicians themselves should also help the country and help INEC to deliver a very effective electoral process. They should be warned not to induce, because in this situation, Dr. Tony Agbons, both the inducer and the inducee are both guilty. The buyer and the buyee, they should all be dealt with. But I think INEC, like I said, is tied. Government and the agency to enforce this need to do something different. And I believe if people are put in prison or dealt with squarely, that will serve as a deterrent. INEC should just continue on their enlightenment process. And also, too, it's also claimed that even when you have security men there, they tend to look away. Looking away in the face of problem would not solve it. Dealing with it would, and it must be done.
Thank you very much, Comrade Pharmacist Iremiran. You are very much, as usual, in your element today, firing on all cylinders and giving very apt deposition of the situation with respect to the continuous voters registration exercise. Nigerians want to call again from this table of the Comrade Show. If you know you have not got your permanent voters card, don't sit on the fence. Your vote is your say. Go get yours. You need to have it. It is not after election, things are done and dusted, that we start complaining. I want to thank all Nigerians, especially the young people of Nigeria, for the way they have come out massively, despite the challenges, sometimes with lack of machines, insufficient machines in some of the registration centers, but they have stood firm and they've said they want to take the destiny of our country in their hands. And everybody's been doing his bit. There's been a lot of, sensitization across the land. And Comrade Iremiran, one thing I've found with this particular voter registration this time is that there are a lot of people who have not voted before. But I know a lot. And some people will tell me, bros, I've never voted, but this time around, I have to vote. So what will you think is the reason for this upsurge in new voters registration, which to some extent have become a challenge for INEC, who have been doing advert on TV and radio?
We have a call.
We have a call, yes. I think we're having a call. Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening from United Arab Emirates.
Good evening, sir. Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Daddy.
Yeah, go on, Dr. Okungbowa.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I just woke up from a short nap when I saw you guys are on. You're talking. I just want to respond to what Minister Aregbesola was saying. I think he sort of tried to be very, very nice to our politicians, talking about their ways of election rigging and all that stuff. The fact is this: you would never be able to stop Nigeria. I mean, never expect or think that Nigerian politicians have gotten polished to the point whereby they will think rigging is not good. Mind you, power politics in Nigeria is about who gets it, who will not take it all. And there's no accountability. Therefore, there will be graduals. So they will always invent ways, because these are people who have no business being in power, being in government. Since they know once they get there, there's no limit to what they can do with resources. They're always going to invent any means possible to get there. It's now up to the people to fight back. INEC has the shame of the past whereby they were very neutrality by a lot of things. They made an improvement. They're still improving. But when the people get involved more now, I think one of the ways that you can deal with to reduce this rigging is that when voter apathy is at a minimal, rigging becomes more difficult because people are interested, people want to know what happened. And don't set the template, Osun just did. And with more young people getting involved, we're talking about you gave a statistic of INEC people paying 95 billion. About 2 months ago, I already thought that we're going to have at least 100 billion voters in this election. It's going to be the biggest INEC has ever handled. Therefore, even the politicians will all be scared. The volume of people coming to vote, which they are not used to being able to manipulate. So, they will do all they can. They want to expect that they are going to just forget it by the idea of vote buying. It's what they have always done. With too much more public funds at their disposal, unaccounted for, they're always going to want to use it to acquire power. So we are happy that more people are getting involved now, which will make it more difficult for them to buy the vote. They will collect money for sure. They now know that you can't stop them from offering money. They collect their money and vote against them. So which we will not think that they will. But now we're going to be beat them to their game. And by the next election, there will be a paradigm shift in the Nigerian political electoral system. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. One of our top fans there, Dr. Okungbowa, all the way from the Middle East, United Arab Emirates. Great contribution, as usual, from the doc. Paradigm shift. And that was exactly what I was asking you, Pharmacist Iremira. How do you see this next election panning out?
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Okungbowa, for that. Dr. Tony Agbons, you see, like it's always said, when sand too many for soup, even the blind man will know say Sunday. So I think it's a general awareness that Nigerians are waking up to realize that this government, administration, wickedness will not continue. Not only to this administration, it's just that this administration has taken it a bit to another level. It's been incremental. Poor governance has been on the horizon for years, and it has reached the people by their throat. So everybody wants to be responsible now for who governs them, what they do. So simply put, they want to take their destiny to their own hands. And I must tell you, the infighting between these so-called parties, PDP and APC, that has led to, of course, the crunching out of Peter Obi from PDP, for example, to now become a movement. It's also another factor. Many people just want an alternative, and they see an alternative at the moment in Labour Party, and to some extent in some other smaller parties, maybe regionally or state-wise. So it is a good thing. It will bring its own challenge, Dr. Tony Agbons. But overall, it will be good. People just want good governance. People are tired. The world is becoming very small and a global village. You don't need to be in London to enjoy life. So the lies that are told now to people is becoming very clear. Look at the wanton promises that was made by this government when they were running for office. It is clear that on many fronts, they've not been able to fulfill that. Food is very important. Food has become very scarce. So everybody's waking up to that idea. And like I tell you, Dr. Tony Agbons, most people I talk to, the people supporting this government now, APC and PDP, are not necessarily people like me and you. They are people that are indirectly connected to this party by way of membership, by way of working for them, or by way of getting some form of income or revenue from them. The real masses are either not made a decision yet, or majority of them have made a decision to take or go to the alternative party. So my governance has led us to where we are, and people are now waking up. And I dare say too, education, even among the different media houses, Comrade Show being one of them, everybody has taken the bar and risen to a different level. So that consciousness is creating awareness, and that awareness is creating a new lease of life. And of course, I told you last time, Dr. Tony Agbons, the people born in 1999 are now teenagers. They are in their 19, in their 20, in their 21. They want to compare with their peers in the UK. They want to compare with their peers in the United States. They want to compare to their peers in other parts of the country. And that is driving the system. Like we always say, you mentioned something before Okumbawa made that phone call. In advanced plan, you target those that have never voted before. Yeah. I wish Nigerians have data. When you are campaigning, you begin to target those people. Those new entrants, those that have never voted before, will be a deciding factor. Nigeria, watch out. I see excitement all the way.
In fact, one of our viewers now, Monday Elisha, as we were just rounding up, he said those selling their voters card, PVC, and those buying this so-called PVC should be arrested, persecuted within a very short time sentence to prison. In fact, this information should be sent to the public awareness by showing them in TV, social media. Thank you so much, Monday Elisha. That was a very, very apt one. I think for me, the issue of vote buying that you spoke about, comrade pharmacist, is people are doing it because nobody has been really punished, especially the so-called big men. They are the ones really doing this. When this vote buying started, they were doing it at the polling center, but now it is alleged that, from what we hear from the word on the street, is that people are settled and they are made to even show evidence that they actually voted, and this is where the full weight of the law have to be applied. I've always maintained in any society where there is no deterrent, indiscipline and lawlessness will never stop. In fact, that has been the challenge of Nigeria. People are never punished for anything. Comrade, we are here in the United Kingdom. You saw what happened to our Prime Minister last week. Simple mistake. Boom.
And even Donald Trump.
Yeah, even Donald Trump. Simple mistake of, he set a rule for COVID-19. This is not about governance or anything. Simple mistake, and Partygate, he was gone.
Is it the party you are talking about when our politicians even bring their wives, their mistresses to the office to come and mess around with?
So and somebody have resigned. The head secretary in the UK here resigned because he was during the lockdown. He was found, kissing one of his aides and all that, and he resigned. So that in that kind of system, this happens a lot in developed countries. In that kind of system, people are watching. You can imagine now young people who are 15, 16, hearing the story of the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. They were like, okay. But in our climb, in fact, even if he breaks the law during COVID, the law that he made, nothing is going to happen. We have a way of sweeping things under the carpet. So people are not punished. This kind of bigmalism has always been our bane. So we want to really call on INEC, we call on the police, we call on the EFCC, the DSS, all the security architecture. They need to work together. I was happy one thing that they did yesterday in Osun. They were not on uniform. Most of the security operatives were not on uniform. and they were wearing mufti, and I understand that a few people were caught. If these people are caught, their masters, those who sent them, they should be found out and appropriate punishment meted out to them. Until people are punished in a society for wrongdoing, society never grows out of indiscipline. That has been our challenge. So thank you very much, my brother, comrade pharmacist Iremira. So we move on to the Osun state election itself. We must congratulate, because most times people criticize a lot. We must congratulate INEC. And this was also what happened in Ekiti State. The speed of the release of the election. Pharmacists, election was done yesterday. The result was released yesterday. My brother, how you see this kind of thing?
Thank you very much, Dr. Tony Agbons. I think before I say anything, it will be good to congratulate in a very, very gracious way the dancing senator, Ademola Adeleke, scoring 403,371 votes for the PDP, and APC getting 375,000.
No, I think it was more than that.
Was it?
Yes. If you can see, as these are the final results.
Are these the final results?
Yeah, this is the final result.
403,371 for PDP and 375,027 for APC. And that made the dancing senator the governor-elect for Osun State. Three things come to mind as I look at this. I think this is the first time in as many years that an incumbent governor of the ruling party in Nigeria will be defeated. That is good news. It shows that the people have risen up. Another lesson too, I think the people of Osun, in their usual way, they've spoken, and they've spoken loudly. And of course too, for the APC, I think this sets another barometer for 2023. Somebody was saying to me today, listing all the structures that APC have got on ground in Osun State, PDP were able to surmount them and become victorious. My only sad part too, in fact, the issue of the vote buying that we have talked about, and the issue of vote buying that we talked about just now that happened, and of course, to me, the poor turnout. I just quickly did a calculation just now. If you combine those two votes, which happen to be the largest, in the ratio of 52 to 48%, they are less than 1 million.
Yeah.
And I don't know the population of Osun, but I am sure that Osun should be within the region of 3 to 3.5 million people. And if we work that out, it means there's about 20% of the entire population that have come out to vote. Some people will argue that it's even fair, it's better compared to other states. I don't think the last election we recorded such a huge amount. But overall, it's still poor. So those are my only two demerits at the moment. The poor turnout and the continuous vote buying. I believe in the course of the week, we will get more information about that. But what are the lessons here? The lessons for the APC is enormous, because it is said that the candidate of APC for the next presidential election, we hear, is originally from Osun. We also know that Bisi Akande, the former leader of the APC, is also from Osun. And of course, the city governor is also from Osun. So for many people who query structure, these are structures. They are not just structures. Maybe they are buildings. But how? How, Dr. Tony? On the 16th of July, those structures actually did collapse. Although one would say that the Adeleke and the Adeleke dynasty are a very big name in Osun. I think the candidate of the PDP for the presidency, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, will be in high heavens now, because he did promise that this will be a water test moment and a litmus test for APC, and that they were going to indeed cross gem and be victorious. So the Jagaban camp has a lot of work to do. But I just want to say, No matter the work they do, if they don't do good governance, it will not manifest or materialize into vote. So I think in all, Dr. Tony Agbon, this promises very good for the future. Why do I say so? I think, even though people would argue that a Labour Party, though they feature the candidate, we know during the week there was an attack in the candidate's house, and the candidate eventually did not get much vote. But I think this is going to go again to talk more about what will happen at the national level. Much as the victories for PDP today, I think the two parties are already jittering. I think, Dr. Tony Agbon, that in the state's election, we are going to see a remarkable difference. Majority will go for their presidency that they want, and then choose the local one that, of course, they want. So PDP or APC might be recognized in some states, and those states may, even in presidency, go for maybe a Labour Party. But I like the result. I like it because it has shaken the fabrics of APC. They need to sit up. They need to do the right thing. The only thing they can do is good governance. But the question is, there seems to be no time, because it's only 7 months left for a proper functioning government. But overall, I congratulate the dancing senator. And I want to advise him, the time for dance is over. He needs to get down to work and deliver good governance and democracy for the people of Osun. This will be my immediate reaction just now.
Thank you very much, pharmacist Comrade Iremira. Very, very well spoken. And I join you to congratulate the dancing senator, now governor designate of Osun State, His Excellency Adeleke, Ademola Adeleke. And you know, of course, he's the uncle to
Davido,
famed Nigerian musician. I like him so much. David Adeleke, that we all know as Davido, the assurance and the crooner, OBO. We all know him. And you know one thing, so that in case people have forgotten, Governor Oyetola, the current governor of Osun State, and Senator Ademola Adeleke, they contested this election together in 2018.
That's true.
It was a highly combustible election. In fact, it was the election that started this theory of inconclusive. You know, when they said the election was inconclusive. In fact, Ademola Adeleke was the dancing. Ademola Adeleke was leading. He was leading in that election with a few votes. And then INEC said it was inconclusive and certain things took place which we cannot verify or confirm. And then they had a rerun the following week in 7 wards in Osun State. And eventually, the current governor, Oyetola, defeated Senator Adeleke with 353 votes to clinch victory. In fact, he went to court and all that, and the rest, they say, is history. But 4 years on, the dancing senator has come back, and he's got it. So lessons to be learned is, it is never over until it is over. And pharmacists, there's something you said which I just want to stretch a little bit. Nigerians are very wise now when it comes to democracy. Our democracy is growing. There is hope. People know who to vote for. Even if they are cajole, they bring money, they will collect the money, but they know who to vote for. And I want to say this very, very categorically, that the victory of Senator Ademola Adeleke is a reflection of what is going to happen in February 2023. People are going to vote for personalities they like, irrespective of the party. And it is very clear. So, it is not a barometer. This is not how we are going to measure the election for next year. But from the result, you will see that Osun State have 30 local government areas. Ademola Adeleke won in 17 of those local governments. And Oyetola, the current governor, who will be handing over soon, he won in 13. So and the election has been adjudged to be very, very free and fair. And to be honest, we also need to commend the federal government of Nigeria for no interference. This also happened in Edo in 2020. It happened in Anambra State. So we must commend the federal government. It's not all the time they get the bashing from Nigerians for not really interfering in the democratic process. So things like this, when an incumbent can be defeated in an election, it gives hope to people. Things like this will reduce the apathy that people have. When people used to say, oh, I'm not going to vote, our vote don't count. But what the people of Osun have shown is that votes really do count. And the popular candidate, I think, has won this election. There's been a lot of jubilation in Osogbo, in Ede, in some of the towns. I know Osun State very well. As a teenager and in my early 20s, I used to go for a lot of camp meetings in Ede, in Osun State. Beautiful town those days. So we really congratulate the winner of the election. And like you said, the time for Buga has passed. So the time for dancing is over. So Senator Ademola Adeleke and his team, they need to hit the ground running right from day one. Governance is not, the time for Kuruke dance and all the rest. So he needs to start working. So we congratulate him and his team for this well-deserved victory. Now, pharmacist, I want to ask you a question before we wrap up this particular topic. Osun State election has come and gone. And INEC have shown that the electronic transmission of results has come to stay. So what is your advice, first to INEC and then to Nigerians, with regards to genuine election results?
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbon, but I beg to differ with your last statement. I know because of the way governance is in Nigeria, we praise them when they do their job. We shouldn't be thanking the federal government for doing their job. Their job is to give us good governance. And if you stay clear of elections and let the victory of the people come to fall, who knows if they even make
I was only thanking them for no interference.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We don't need to thank them. Their duty is not to interfere. Their duty is to govern. So I just want to say that, yes, we shouldn't thank them. Their duty is indeed to govern. And I think that's what they've done. Who knows? Maybe they also intervened, maybe to a very barest minimum. But to the people, let me talk to the people first. I wanted to say this, Dr. Tony Agbon. Around 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock yesterday, the news started trending that Adeleke was going to be victorious. And I think that came because the people that voted actually waited and they knew what they voted for. I think that's what's going to happen at the national. Dr. Tony Agbon, when people come out en masse to vote and truly vote, nobody can rig the election.
True.
If anything untoward had happened yesterday, Osun would have been on fire because people were clear in their mind that Senator Adeleke was their man and he was going to coast to victory. So as we go to 2023, with all that we've said to our people, once you vote, stand and make sure that your vote counts. No compromise. And I believe with that, we'll be able to checkmate any possibility of changing results or doing some form of mago-mago, like we call it. I congratulate the citizens and people of Osun State for standing tall. For those near 1 million of Osun people that came out to vote, I say God bless you because indeed you are doing your civic duty. For unfortunately and fortunately, this is the last election before the presidency. But I think the way it has ended is going to give a ray of hope to let us know that when we come to the national election, it will be good. Osun has ended, I think ended well. But of course, let us not say anything yet because, it's only in Nigeria that Supreme Court give you victory. I don't know if APC will be going to the Supreme Court to contest this election. And back to INEC. INEC, your job is well cut out. I don't envy you in any shape or form because I know that the presidential election will be a real test for INEC. They are going to see 3-4 times the usual voting numbers. Yeah. If there's anything they can do to improve technology, please do. I know you have the right budget. The chairman, the chairman of INEC has said that many times. They've got the money now, and I think that if they run into a problem, this National Assembly will be willing to give them more. So I think what they should do is more test run of all the systems that they have, and put in place good things to fish out the bad eggs of INEC staff, so that they don't compromise their good job. And for Mahmoud not to compromise at all. It is better to live with a good name than to have lots of money and end with a bad name. 2023 election is very, very important. And I beg Nigerians, I know we are suffering. We have a leeway. The only way is to vote right. Your 2,000 naira that you take today will be finished by tomorrow. What are you going to do for the next 4 years? So I believe if we all work together and INEC do their job, and people take their civic responsibility right, 2023 will be great. Remember, I am obedient. Time for campaign has not started, but vote wisely. Be careful. Vote for the person that you know will turn the tide. Don't vote for anybody on sentiments of religion, on the sentiment of ethnicity, because indeed, we are all Nigerians, and we want to move our country forward. For INEC, continue to develop your technology and be ready, because the work at hand is enormous.
For INEC, continue to develop your technology and be ready, because the work at hand is enormous. Iremiran 2022.
Thank you, Dr. Tony Agbons.
I give you, I like giving you bibliography. I'm giving you another one today. So for the record, thank you so much, my brother. Always a pleasure having you. For those of you who love statistics, I love it. I work with figures. That is what I do for a living. I just want to, pharmacists have mentioned a couple of numbers, and I've tried to do the maths. Osun State has a population of 4.7 million, at least as of 2016. They have about 1,950,000 registered voters in terms of PVC. But of this number, only about 1.4 million actually went to collect their PVC. About 500,000 PVCs were not collected. And for this election, from the values that the pharmacists gave us, about 778,000 people actually voted for the two main candidates. So if we add the other little votes, let's just say about 780,000 voted, which is about 51% of the number of registered voters, which Nigerian standard is a bit high, but we want to enjoy Nigerians. Let's always come out to vote, because they say that bad government are elected by good people who refuse to vote. I think it's one of the Greek philosophers that said that. I can't remember the name, whether Socrates, Plato, or Euthyphros. I can't remember which of them. So let us always come out and vote. And like the pharmacist said when he was making his proposition earlier, when there is a massive turnout of voters, it is very difficult for elections to be rigged. And from some of the videos I was watching online yesterday, when they were counting, they counted AAC, ADC, PDP, APC. When they were counting, people were there, and the values are recorded and transmitted electronically. I tell you, my brother, I think the salvation for democracy in Nigeria lies with technology.
Absolutely.
Because remember those days, people would just write number.
Yeah.
Maybe you get 140, somebody gets 74. They just use pen to change it. But when a scan is sent by email to the collation center, it goes straight to the INEC portal. And that we can see the results. Before we do election in Nigeria, governorship election like this, my brother, 3 days, we are still waiting for the result. And it is between those times that all the mago and the wuru they will come in. But we thank God for technology, and we congratulate the good people of Osun State. And we hope that, because like some of our viewers, and I've put some of those things on the screen, this election we are going for, the road to 2023, people are voting for personality and they are not looking at party. So, and the earlier our politicians recognize this, the better for them. So we congratulate Osun people. Okay, so much for the Osun discussion. Please, our callers, you can call in. Our numbers are on the screen. You want to contribute to the discussions, all that we are saying, please feel free to make your contribution. So, on another note, this is away from, I think, we away from typical Nigerian, politics, but it's still part of it. This week, pharmacists, a few days ago, we saw a video trending of the Minister of Interior, Chief, and we call him Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. He was in a US restaurant. I'm going to play the video very shortly. And somebody was trying to record him. And then there was a kind of argument. And this has been trending. A lot of people have been talking about it. I just want to get your take on this. I'm going to look for our viewers. I just want, before the pharmacists will speak, I just want to play this video for us so that we understand where all this is coming from.
Yet we're having a good time here. Hello. Is it Aregbesola? I just said hello and he left. You look like, are you Aregbesola? Pardon? Who am I? I'm a Nigerian.
What do you want?
I don't want anything. I saw you. I think I recognize you. Aregbesola. Thank you. No. Your Excellency, I have to. If you look at me, you can't touch. You can't touch this. America. You can't touch this.
You can't record me.
But you can't touch me.
I have the right to my privacy.
So you have to tell me this is America. This is not Nigeria. This is not Nigeria. You can't. No, this is not Nigeria. You can't just take my phone. This is America.
To my privacy.
So you just tell me that this is America. This is a free country. Do you understand? This is a free country. I can do what I like in America.
You cannot.
I can do what I want in America.
You cannot record me without my authority.
Biden can't tell me that if I want to record Biden. Biden can't tell me that.
Come again.
This is America. If I want to, even Biden, this is a free country. This is not Nigeria. This is not Nigeria. You are alive. Don't touch me. If you touch me, I will sue you. I'm an American. Don't touch me. You can't touch me. This is America. If you touch me, I will sue you. And I said, leave me alone. This is a free country. This is a free country. This is not Nigeria.
Why are you recording him?
Your life. This is not Nigeria.
You cannot record me without my authority.
Biden can't tell me that.
You cannot record without my authority.
Biden can't tell me that.
I have the right to my privacy.
This is America. This is America. Biden can't tell me that. This is America. Biden can't tell me that. You are not in Nigeria. This is America. Biden can't tell me I cannot record it.
You cannot record without my authority.
You are in America. You are in America. You are not in Nigeria. You are in America.
This man is sick.
Yeah, I'm sick. You are in America.
Hold on. He's recording without my authority. He's recording without my authority. You cannot.
Why?
This is America. This is not Nigeria.
This is not Nigeria.
Sorry.
You don't have the right.
What do you mean I don't have the right?
Yeah. Not working.
I don't want you see. I'm good. This is America. Yeah, I can't record you.
Okay, pharmacist, what is your take on this video?
Thank you so
By the
much.
way, in the United States of America.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons, for choosing to talk about this. I'm going to be a bit very, very different. I think that action by the man that did that video and set it out, in my view, was not right. We have a duty to hold our politicians responsible, and rightly so. And again, you realize that because our country has been so badly treated, we Nigerian citizens and even outsiders don't have huge respect for our elected leaders. Yeah. That's on one side. So on that note, we have every right to interrogate them. But where I find it a bit funny that I don't agree with that gentleman was, I think if you go back to the video, as soon as he approached him, he welcomed him and he said, "Can you sit down?"
Yeah.
He actually, Aregbesola actually said that to the gentleman. And the gentleman keeps shouting, "This is America. I will give you." Is that a call?
Yeah, it's a call. I think we
Okay, let's take the call.
we quickly take this call.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Dixon. I'm calling from Luton.
What's
Your name is can you speak
Dixon.
Dixon? Or you are calling from
Luton. United Kingdom.
Okay, Mr. Dixon, thank you for calling in. Please go on.
Yes. Thank you very much for your eloquent speech and the way you are handling the show. It's very interesting.
Thank you, sir.
I want to comment on the video. When I saw it yesterday night, I was really angry. That gentleman, that man, so I wouldn't say he's gentle. That man that recorded that honorable minister invaded the privacy of that minister, and it was wrong, and it contravenes the fundamental human right of the honorable minister. Even when you see the man, the young man was saying that this is America. Even if you are in America, does that give you license to encroach on people's privacy? The honorable minister was just going for his meal, and you said hello. The guy noticed that this is a black man, and in order to avoid altercation, he went to his seat without picking much food. And you went to his seat again and started antagonizing this man. For heaven's sake, what kind of human being is that young man that was recorded? I mean, I said so agreed that I couldn't do anything because it was a replay of the incident. So coming up with it, seeing it on your show today, gave me the opportunity to air my grievances against what that man did to that honorable minister. Aregbesola has not committed any offense that he should be monitored in such a way and embarrassed in such a way. What is wrong with? I'm from Edo State. Aregbesola is from another state, so it's not my friend, it's not my relative. But I'm looking at it from the perspective of humanity. You can't just start embarrassing people all in the name. Let's look at he's a politician, agree. He's an honorable minister of internal affairs, agree. But it does not give you the license to encroach into his privacy. I mean, we should stop. Nigerians all over the world should stop this man. This is how they humiliated Koremado in Germany last time. Give him the thorough beating and all the stuff for his clothes. I mean, it's not nice. It's only barbarians that do things like that.
Thank you very much.
In our approach.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. Yeah, thank you so much, brother Dixon, all the way from Luton in the United Kingdom. Yes, pharmacist. You see,
thank you, my brother Luton.
Go on.
Yeah, Luton was just trying to re-echo what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And like I said, the minister actually said, "Please sit down."
Yeah.
You understand? And I think the guy saying that this America, in other advanced countries, you don't do that. You can't just go to Joe Biden and start taking his photo. Even when you are doing things with celebrities, you still seek their consent to say, "Can I have a selfie with you? Can I do this with you?" I know it is because of the way our leaders have run our country. That's why they are getting this. But I think what the gentleman did was not right. I think he would have also introduced himself properly to the man and even talk to us, the listening public, and then ask a question to see if the man will be willing to respond. He seriously invaded his privacy. And I think that is not fair. It's not something that we should be happy about because, I mean, two of us or anybody can be in high position tomorrow. Does that mean you cannot go to another place? I can go to Lagos to eat. Does that mean that if I'm eating in Lagos, somebody will come? Yes, I need to interview you. I think it wasn't done properly. The gentleman may have a good intention, but the process and manner with which he went about it was not very good. We can make things a bit more civil. I believe if he had spoken to him and introduced himself, maybe Aregbesola would have been willing to engage and have that discussion. That's on the one hand. Also, shame to our leaders as well, who find comfort in coming to another man's country for health grounds. This again begs the question, because a lady was saying in that video he's not well. You know.
Oh, he went for checkup.
Yes.
No. When the lady said it's not well, he's referring to the young man recording.
Oh, okay. I thought he was referring to
Aregbesola. Yeah,
okay,
not to Aregbesola. I think pharmacists, because of time, I just want to also tee off from where you have stopped. The approach by the recorder was very wrong, and this is where I differ from a lot of people, and you have mentioned it, comrade pharmacist Remira. We know our politicians, they've done a lot of damage to our country and all that, but the truth be said, two wrongs does not can never make a right. So this I've seen a lot of argument, counter argument on this matter since this video came out. If I were in the shoes of that young man doing the video, I would just like, oh, I greet you, sir, and all that, and then you just have a conversation with him, and if it's an interview, like you said, Comrade Remira, if you want to interview him, asking questions about maybe the last prison attack in Kuje because he's the Minister of Interior, you can ask him questions. Okay? So let it be that, you want to interview him, and then he's even refusing. And if he even refuses to answer you, if you ask him questions, you leave him. So you can't force. I see that, this is my personal opinion, and I know many people may not be happy with me for saying this. His privacy was invaded, and that is what you alluded to. And we shouldn't be doing things like this. And we know that there's a lot of misbehavior in our society, but we cannot join the gang to do the wrong thing. We need to show them how to do things in a very civil and polite way. And somebody was telling me that, the UK Prime Minister, when he's riding his bicycle and all that, I said, yes, he's riding his bicycle. A lot of people are recording him. He doesn't even know. He's just driving along. But this is a restaurant. He's sitting down. He just bought his food. He wants to eat it. You can have a conversation with him. That is the truth. This is my own personal opinion. Pharmacist, final word on this before we take
I think what we are saying is just ground of sanity and morality. Do unto others what you want others to be done unto you. If the gentleman says, please, I don't give you any right, I don't want you to interview me, you simply walk away. I understand the sentiment of the recorder, but the action in itself was not proper.
Exactly. Thank you so much, pharmacist. So the last issue we want to talk about, this is to congratulate all Edo State people, even Bendelites, people who are in Delta State now. Our darling football club, that is the #1 club I supported. Pharmacist Remira, you supported when we were growing up.
Absolutely.
Bendel Insurance, that is how we call it. We don't used to separate the two words. It was Bendel Insurance. That is how we call it. Pardon my people who are used to English. We were not separating it. Until I grew up, I didn't know that it was a two-letter words. Insurance have gained promotion to the elite Nigerian Professional Football League. After many years, I think it's been more than 3, 4, 5 years. I stand to be corrected. I'm not very sure. That Insurance have been playing in the lower cadre of Nigerian football, the one we call Division 2. And this week, with 3 matches to go, Bendel Insurance Football Club have eventually, made it to the Premiership, Nigerian Premier League. We are all so happy. Pharmacist Remira, Bendel Insurance, back in the big time. What do you say, my brother?
Dr. Tony Agbons, thank you very much for bringing this very refreshing news, cheering news. I dare say, not only for Bendel people and the Edo State people, but indeed for the entire Nigeria state. Bendel Insurance once shook Nigeria and took sports and sporting activity to another level. With Bendel Insurance was at its prime, hotels in Benin were on fire because week in, week out, there were people coming from far and wide, coming to celebrate with Bendel Insurance, especially on days where they have matches. I must also say, Dr. Tony Agbons, he went from Bendel Insurance to insurance. At one time, it became insurance. We left the Bendel out of it. A very good club. Edo Delta used to be the credo of footballization, if there's a word like that. Oh, yes. I'm very happy. I must congratulate the Edo State government, led by the Deputy Governor, Honorable Philip Swaibu. I've heard on many occasions how he has put power and energy to Bendel Insurance. I think at one time he even played for them, he kitted for them. He has done a lot of work to see that Bendel Insurance come back to its right place, Division 1 of the Nigeria Premier League. Commerce and commercial activity, I tell you, in Benin City and Benin Metropolis, we increase again once again, because people will come and watch football matches, and hotels and other activity will be booming. There is Bendel Insurance should not have been where they have been over the years. I think they've come to the right place. But like it's always said, it's very, very difficult to climb up. Once you are there, it's also very difficult to remain there. So Bendel Insurance has got a huge work to do in their hands. We want them to remain in Division 1 for as long as possible, and also strive to even become the champions of Nigeria, so that we can once again from that area witness continental and intercontinental matches. I'm just overwhelmed for Bendel Insurance and for the young people of especially Benin City and indeed Edo State who have loved football. They have something to look forward to now. Young players to look forward to go. It reminds me of the Omokaros of this world, the Poropos of this world, you know. So I'm very happy. And I just want to encourage the Edo State government to take it a step further, because Bendel Insurance need a lifeline. And the only lifeline will be introducing Principal and Governor's Cup, so that we can have a churning house where this crop of good players will be feeded in. I tell you, Dr. Tony Agbons, Bendel Insurance started falling down when Governors and Principal Cup was no longer played. But overall, I'm happy. Kudos to the government. Kudos to Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu. And kudos to the entire Bendel Insurance team and their manager.
Thank you very much. Yes, I can see you are beaming with joy. There is great joy in your face. I can see that. I'm really, really happy. And to be honest, I want to congratulate His Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Noregase Obaseki, for this, and his deputy, Right Honorable Philip Shaibu. But they've really supported the team. We saw the rebranding they did about 2 years ago. In fact, this promotion should have been last year, but insurance were cheated by Shooting Star Sports Club, 3SC of Ibadan. There were some magomago and all that. And even at that time, even the deputy governor even threatened to take off. He was saying that the Edo State government will even withdraw Bendel Insurance from the league. But finally, it has happened, and like they always say, God's time is the best. Absolutely. And insurance is back in the big time. And yes, the good thing with this is that the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, the one we used to call the Ogbe Stadium, the new stadium, is ready for big time football. And even the Super Eagles of Nigeria, our national team, Falcons, the Falconets, a lot of teams have been playing in the Ogbe Stadium, in the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, and now insurance will have it all to themselves. And all the top clubs in Nigeria that we know, Eyimba, Plateau United, Aqua United, Rivers United, Rangers International, all of them, some of the big teams in Nigeria, even 3SC, I can't wait for that. In fact, yesterday, a friend of mine, he wrote in one group I belong to, he's in Ibadan, and he was saying that he can't wait for 3SC, formerly known as IICC Shooting Stars, to play Ibadan, because the stadium will be full, and the Rangers, all those teams, those days, stationary stores, ACB, Raka Rovers, Calabar Rovers, this is Lobby Stars, who were formerly known as Spartans of Owerri. All these teams were Julius Berger Football Club. Some of these teams they are no more. These were top teams. Academy Warriors of Maiduguri, Ranchers Bees of Kaduna. We can just go on and on when our football was in its prime. And I also want to suggest to the Edo State government 2 things. Pharmacists have mentioned one. We need to really re-galvanize school sports. We need to. Principals Cup, then Governors Cup. So this age group football, because that is where talent are discovered. Because like you said, pharmacists, the team started going down when we didn't have enough pool, of players, talent coming through. So we let our school sports. I know there was one meeting we had on this platform. His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, did promise that they are really doing a lot with the Sports Commission to bring back school sports in the way and form it should be. So we want to remind the Deputy Governor who is acting at the moment. There's a phone call here.
Let's take the call as we round up.
Yes, we take this call. Hello.
Yes. Yes, good afternoon, my comrades.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Please, your name and where are you calling from?
Minister Aregbesola, calling from Central African Republic, as usual, working with the United Nations here.
Yes, my namesake, Agbons. Please fire on, sir. You have the mic.
Okay, thank you very much. Very short. I want to contribute to 2 important things here concerning the INEC and Aregbesola issue. Aregbesola issue, well, everybody condemned that as a civilized person, but it is what you have just said. It is what Nigeria has degenerated to. Somebody has just pissed off his mind that anytime you see him, they are going to do this kind of people. He is the Minister of Internal Affairs, and we have a very big crisis back home. The prison was broken, and he said going to the United States to go and have him lunch. I think that guy was annoyed, but he made a mistake for attacking directly. So the second issue is that we shouldn't congratulate INEC and federal government now. Based on my own experience, this guy may turn their face for now because everybody's focus is just on the presidency. They have done this with the case, turning their faces is a way of masking people. This is what I believe. If it's not, what happened in APC that the Christian was choosing for the party, I think something they are working on something there. So they just want to neglect those ones. They are focusing on the presidency. So we shouldn't be overwhelmed with this kind of a situation that is happening in the state and governorship election. That is my contribution. And I congratulate Bendel Insurance. Me, myself, and the football lover, and I'm very happy. I'm hearing it from people. I've not really got the news, and think that's very good as for Bendel Insurance. Thank you very much, and I respect you people for what you people are doing. I don't have the time to join people every time, but you are doing the marvelous job. What is our comrade last time? So here today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Our brother Victor Osage Agbons, all the way from Central African Republic. So he's, I think he just covering some of the issues we've talked today.
Dr. Tony Agbons, I think you need to phone Victor privately to see if he's your relative from afar.
I think so. Maybe in the metaphysical. We have to check that too. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. So we congratulate Bendel Insurance, and we like I was saying, school sports need to be galvanized. The state government they are doing something already, but it needs to be galvanized. We want to see competitions. Dokbolo Grammar School playing Western Boys High School. Those days when you see Governors Cup, Principals Cup final, Comrade Iremira, the whole place is full up.
Really sweet.
Top match. And before you know
it, the last one I watched was Western Boys against Dokbolo, where Poropo was on show.
Oh, yes.
I'm wishing on Modiafu.
So we used to we want to see all that back again. And before you know it, this player they play Principals Cup. Following year, they are playing for Bendel Insurance, they are playing for Flash Flamingos, playing for New Nigeria Bank those days. So
and it was, you have that continental football. People,
exactly.
I said Mimosa. Those guys come, you just bring a bit of joy.
Oh, yes. Kanu Sportive of Yaoundé, they used to come, and all these North African teams, Ali of Egypt, Zamalek of Egypt, JS Kabir of Algeria, they used to come.
Stop making me feel nostalgic and born.
I know. My brother will go stop and there. Thank you so much, comrade. I just want to quickly, before we we round out. Let me just quickly thank our callers today. Dr. Sayemere Okungbawa from United Arab Emirates. Thank you so much, our brother. You are a regular on this program. Our brother, Mr. Dixon from Luton in the United Kingdom. Thank you for calling in. And the last caller just now, our brother Victor Osage Agbons from Central Africa Republic. Thank you so much. And all the others. There's been a lot of comments on our YouTube, our Facebook, and all our handles. How many can we really take? Please, our viewers, you are the reason why we are here. We love you all. Pharmacist, your final word before we wrap up.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. Many people will not know the input that you have put in today since the absence of the CNC, the Commander-in-Chief. Thank you for what you've done. You've been sitting down for the last 3 hours trying to get things together, to juggle phone calls and all the technical bits. We appreciate you. The Comrade Show say thank you very much for all that you do. I must say today is unique because our 3 callers that called, they touched on the 3 key points that we discussed today. This is the first time it will happen in Comrade Show. I just want to thank them very much. I also want to specifically pick Victor Agbons out. He calls from an African country, Central African Republic, and that gentleman calls almost every time we are on show. Thank you so much. And for the many callers that Dr. Tony Agbons have called out. Our viewers out there, the people that make us tick, you are the reason why we are here. Thank you so much for all you do. Remember the deal, share. Let us together, collectively and individually, try to make our country better. Stay out of trouble, and we'll come your way again next Sunday.
Yes, and on that note, our viewers, we remain yours sincerely. We remain on the anchor, and we remain on the road to 2023. Remain obedient. God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Do have a glorious week ahead as we gallivant to the end of July 2022. God bless you all.
Are you a business owner? Do you make your own products? This is your best opportunity ever. Register your brand now with the first and largest marketplace promoting Nigerian-made products. Get access to over 17 million shoppers and customers currently in need of your products. Download on Google Play Store now to register or visit ekioja.com. Focus on creating your passion. Leave the marketing to us.